When I was a kid, I was constantly told by my mom that I'm special and unique. That snowflake principle that we're all led to believe. There's no one else like you, you're the only you, you're smart, you're funny. The funny part is I actually believe that, but I'm not alone in this. It's the way that our parents instill confidence and self-belief and self-worth in us as individuals. You as a parent, or your parents, it's what's been instilled in us to shape a child's mind, to mold this individual, to forge their place in the world. And I believed this for a very long time, but that started to change as I got older. What caused this change is not necessarily growing up or a mindset shift. It's the way I've been communicated to by businesses. I haven't been treated like I'm unique, like I'm that snowflake that I'm led to believe. I'm being treated just the same as the 7 billion other people out there. And that is what caused that mind shift change. Let's chat about an example of this. Now, I'd like you to think back to a time that you actually looked forward to receiving a communication from a company. I'm not referring to that email that you get just before Black Friday. I'm referring to a genuine communication from an organization that truly served you in some way. Have you honestly actually ever sat waiting with bated breath for that monthly newsletter to hit your inbox? I can almost guarantee that you're not alone. You're not alone in saying no, because I've never, and I doubt that you have too. There was an infographic released by the World Economic Forum last year that was created by a company called Visual Capitalist. Now, this infographic goes on to show what happens in an internet minute. So just to give you an example of this, they go and illustrate that approximately in 2019, 188 million emails are sent in every minute. Let that sink in. That's 188 million emails in 60 seconds. That equates to approximately just over 3 million emails every second. So literally in the space that it took me to say that last sentence, 3 million emails were sent. What concerned me, however, about the same infographic was that the amount of money spent on average in that same internet minute was around $996,000. That's almost $1 million spent in a minute with companies that aren't treating us like snowflakes, companies that aren't having individual conversations with us, and companies that don't frankly seem like they care about the communication that they're giving to us. And this needs to change, and this is a call for businesses to change. Yet we continue to spend with these brands, we continue to engage with these brands and give them our hard-earned money, and they're not treating us like individuals. Businesses that have the latest technology at their fingertips are no longer treating us as the customers that we are, and that is a problem. We all work for these companies, we all receive the same impersonal communication, but why is it not changing? Is it a lack of concern? Is it laziness? Is it sheer lack of effort? Before I wind up sounding like I'm standing on a soapbox and complaining here, this needs to change. And the reality is that at the end of the day, those businesses are going to lose customers. Now, I'm going to chat about why shortly, but I didn't say that all businesses were doing this incorrectly. Let's chat about a few that are doing it the right way. And I'm going to begin with Spotify. Now, Spotify is a personal favorite of mine, and they had an amazing PR exercise at the end of the year with their yearly wrap-up. Now, what they did, and this blew my mind, is they actually went and aggregated all of my data from the year, and they were able to show me which songs I most enjoyed, how often I played those songs, what genres of music, which artists I enjoyed. They even went and culminated a list of people similar to that to show me that they actually care. They treated me like a snowflake, and they showed me that this individual snowflake's choices actually mattered. If we look at a local example, the Seasons in Africa group is a great one. Now, what the Seasons in Africa group do is they aggregate the data that comes through from the time that you book with them and previous stays that you've had with them, and they build up a profile on an individual. And what they do with this data is they trigger strategic pre-stay or intra-stay or post-stay communications that make someone that's staying with them feel like part of the family and feel like part of the process. And why this is effective is because you as the consumer feel like you've been part of that entire communication process. From the moment you book till the moment you drive out of their gates and get that email saying, we're going to miss you and we want to see you again. That is effective personal communication. What I'm calling for is a change in the way that human-to-human communication happens between businesses and people. The reason I'm calling for this change is because if we don't enforce that change, soon robots may be taking over that position. There's an artificial intelligence language model called GPT-3 that's recently been developed by a company called OpenAI. Now, GPT-3 has been dubbed the most human-like language model ever created. GPT-3 has been trained with 1 trillion words coming from the web and has 175 billion parameters in its learning algorithm. The amazing part, and if you think about it this way, the average human lives to about 70 years old. And if you equate that to seconds, you're looking at about 22 million seconds, give or take a few thousand. That means that if you had to say a single word from the moment you're born until the moment you die, you'll not even get close to the amount of words that are processed through this artificial intelligence model. And that's scary, because that means that if these robots can become more human-like, if these robots and these artificial intelligences can create context and emotion, what does that mean for us? We become pretty redundant at the end of the day. What does need to happen is a change we can control, a change that we can motivate. And all it takes is the simple realization that you're not being treated as an individual, as a snowflake, for that change to happen. And this is a call to businesses to look after the human-to-human conversation. Support the brands and businesses that actually promote the human conversation. Support those and give them your hard-earned money that actually make an effort in getting to know you as an individual. And this is a call to businesses. Businesses, what do you need to do to stand out, to continue to be different? You need to be human. Show emotion, show empathy, show that you actually care about the people that you're communicating to. That is what's going to ensure that you aren't taken over by a new wave of businesses that look after that new wave of consumers. And that new wave of consumers are going to spend their hard-earned money with businesses that are doing exactly that. Us new wave of consumers are going to look at the way we're being communicated to and what the socioeconomic impact of our expenditure is going to be on the world around us. And that is going to differentiate businesses that are going to thrive and those that aren't. And that becomes really important at the end of the day. Treat your clients like part of the family. Treat your clients like they're valued. Have that human conversation with them. And if you don't, the likelihood that you're likely to get overtaken by a robot is quite extreme. This is a call, and it starts with an idea. And I'd like that idea to turn into a bigger idea and enforce that change at the end of the day. Thank you.